Hi. Hello. Guess what? It's the final chapter of Fairy Tale. And I'm pulling this closer because I can. So, okay. I said I'd do a review because, thankfully people did ask me. So, this is for you. And also because I said ages ago if Gruvia went canon, I would certainly make a video about it. And here we are. Okay, I'm gonna do a whole chapter review, which means it's not gonna be just Gruvia, but I'm obviously gonna talk the most about Gruvia. There's gonna be a lot of Gruvia, so as soon as I get to the Gruvia part, it's just gonna go on that tangent. So, just a warning. It's not a normal chapter review. It's gonna be long because it's me. Anyway, so I'm gonna go to the chapter. I'm using the MS translation. I probably should wait for the crunchy, but I like the MS translation, so I'm going with that right now. So first, when the spoilers came out for the chapter cover, I died. I died because that is such a cute picture of Gray and Juvia. I'm like, oh my god, that is awesome. If this is the chapter cover, what's in the chapter? But alas, this is the most physical contact they have in the entire chapter, so that makes me a little sad, to be honest. It is a really cute chapter cover. Also, Mashima did something wrong on this chapter cover, because if you look down on Juvia, she's behind Plu's head, it looks like a brick wall is behind him, but there should be no brick wall. That should be Juvia's dress, like the rest of her dress. I don't know what happened there. I really don't. I have no idea what Mashima was doing or thinking, how he got to put a brick wall there where there should be the rest of a person. Something's not right. Something looks weird. Something's wrong. I don't know what's going on. So there's that. But ignore that. Don't pay any attention to that. Maybe I want someone to get rid of the letters, the Japanese letters off there, clean it, because I really want a clean version of this Gray and Juvia cover. It makes me sad that they're being covered up by the letters. And if Wendy could go away too, that'd be great. But I'm not picky. I'll get rid of just the letters would be fine. But anyway, so yeah, that wasn't even the chapter cover. Actually, I'm wrong. That was the cover of the magazine that Fairy Tale runs in. There was another chapter cover that was actually this probably after this color page, or is it not? We'll see. I don't know how Manga Stream set everything up. It's weird. But it's probably after all those art things. So, okay, so it says full power, 43 pages to send off the last chapter. It begins now. Year X793. This year, Chem Zalian Prize for Best New Author goes to. It's been 1 year since that battle. Okay. I wish it hadn't been a year. And I say this for a multitude of reasons, but most especially because I hate all the time skips that Fairy Tale had. Every single one of them has been terrible. It never does anything good for the story. I'm just being honest. I really hate the time skips in Fairy Tale. I usually like time skips, especially when it goes from young kids to adults. I love those kinds of time skips, but Fairy Tale didn't have that. They had really messed up time skips. Every single one, even the smaller ones, like the one that had to do with the celestial spirits, going there, and then all of a sudden 3 months have passed. All of them are just terrible, and I hate them, and this is no different. But it's probably out of all of them maybe the least problematic, perhaps. But yeah, I don't like it. Anyways, point is, yeah, it's been a year since the battle, since Aknoloya has been defeated. Fine, fantastic. It says they sent the black dragon flying, and again, the world is protected by flame. A bunch of things happen, but allow me to introduce the author of Iris's adventure, Miss Lucy Hartfilia. We're all doing great. So this is Lucy narrating. Okay, yeah, she got an award, which is great. I'm happy. I want Lucy to be a successful author. This is awesome for her. And then we have a whole bunch of filler pages. So click, 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 click. And here's the actual chapter cover. So it's the whole guild. You see everybody there. It's great. It's very nice. Um, I see it says the doors of the guild are anytime open. That's wrong. Are open anytime. I can't open anytime, but they said anytime open. Okay. They were a little too literal, I think, with that one. Thanks for all of your support. It also says on the next page we've got a bunch of new projects, all in color, page after page of fairy tale. I don't know what they were. No one posted them, so that makes me a little sad. Hopefully somebody will post them up. I think one was posted, but that wasn't anything really new. So you have Juvia all the way up to this, off to the side. I hate side face Juvia, so I don't know how much I like this, but I do like Gray's position. I think he looks really cute, and of course Juvia's behind him. So yeah, that's everything. I like Natsu's face too. I like it's funny. It reminds me of like the old chapter covers where he would sometimes have that face. So, oh, and I just noticed Elfman and Evergreen looking at each other, and of course Gajeel and Levy are, although Levy's face is blocked. Um, and yeah, so it's cute. Okay, so now we're back to the chapter. My, I heard that the protagonist Iris was based off of you, Miss Heartfilia, but I can't say I expected you to be such a beautiful young girl. Ha ha ha! Oh, don't you know? Miss Heartfilia is part of that Mage Guild fairy tale. I see. Oh my. So that's why. Oh dear. I get it now. Yeah, they all look like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like, in a bad way. Like, oh, these people. That's why they're like this, right? That's why her friends are so rowdy. Um, okay, so before I go into all of this, honestly, I'm a little sad that the party that they're having, I figured they were going to have a party, especially when there was only one chapter left, and they didn't have any other wrap up time except this chapter. I'm like, okay, they're gonna have a big celebration. I thought it was gonna be at the guild, and it should have been, in my opinion. It's great that Lucy is successful and won an award, and it's a year later, whatever. But in my opinion, this party should have taken place at Fairy Tale, just like the old days. Them getting drunk and fighting in their guild. That would have been great. I feel like it was a wasted opportunity. I don't know why you wouldn't show them doing something that would have been that nostalgic, especially since Mashima seemed all about nostalgia in this arc, and especially the like last couple of chapters. I don't understand that. Whatever. I guess he just wanted to focus on Lucy and make it about her, and the only way he could think to do that was to have it be that she won an award and everyone's at her party. I get it, I just don't like it. End of story. I mean, I love Lucy and I want her to be successful, but I don't like this. So, anyways. Oh yeah, this meets the best, says Natsu. Natsu, you've had enough. The fish is good too, you know. That's a bit dirty of you, Happy. Quit taking off your clothes. Quit taking your clothes off. Not here. That's Erza talking to Gray. And then he goes, whoa, when in the... And Juvia's looking all like, oh, Kei-sama. By the way, Juvia is wearing two different outfits at this party. This one is her first normal one. And later on, you will see a different outfit because Mashima obviously was not paying attention to what he was doing. So here's Gajeel, and he's eating a cup. And he goes, high quality iron is something else, I tell ya. That's not for eating, silly. Levy says, it's not even iron, genius, and that's Panther Lily. Our Lucy won the best new author prize. Yeah, she won. That's Jet and Joy. And then Lucy is saying, ugh, I said I'd invite you, but only if you all behave yourselves, didn't I? It's embarrassing. And Natsu goes, too bad. I thought, and there's Gray in his underwear, because, yeah, of course he's stripped. I thought they said to wear formal clothes, Buster. Yeah, then put some on, idiot. What's that? Want to go? And of course they're fighting again, Gray and Natsu. And then Erza kicks them, because of course she does. Can you stop fighting? This is a joyous occasion. Whoa, yeah! And there's Juvia, and it looks like she's been drinking. And when Juvia drinks, she cries. She's this very sad drunk. Then Juvia has no choice but to strip instead. So of course she's adopted Gray's stripping habit, and she's taking off her clothes. And Mako and Wakaba are the pervs of the guild, the old guy pervs of the guild, and he's going, who was it? Who let her drink? And Wakaba goes, who cares? Give her some more. So Lucy's again like saying, geez, the whole award ceremony's in shambles. And then she thinks back about when she was writing, and she goes, yep, a lot happened. Let's start with me. The novel I had been writing bit by bit on the side somehow managed to win the new author's prize. I didn't sell a ton of books and become super rich or anything, but one of my dreams did come true. And then we see Anna. I thought for sure she died because I'm like, oh, they're not gonna have two Lucys, and I know she's not Lucy, but it's like having two Lucys. So it's like, okay, she's still here. I mean, I guess it would have been weird if she had died without Lucy ever meeting her, but it's still weird regardless. I don't. Congratulations, Lucy. Miss Anna. Miss Anna's still in this time. There's a few things you need to do to keep living as an author from now on. Haha. Keep living as an author from now on. Meeting your own ancestors is a bit of a weird thing, but I still go visit her from time to time. Teacher, 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 and so she's teaching. She's a teacher at a small village school now, apparently. It's so funny that Lucy says apparently as if she's not sure. And she's like, whatever, that's what they say. Oh, I get it now. Lucy smells like Miss Anna. That's why I always feel so calm around her. That's Natsu talking. And Lucy's all like creeped out. She's like, smell, quit it. And Gujia's like, yeah, you had a crush on Miss Anna, didn't ya? And Natsu just very, very calmly admits, yep, and what do you mean, and Gajio's blushing, and Lucy's really blushing, and this is the start of, like, in my opinion, what Mashima's trying to portray with Nalu. But we'll get to that. So, then we have Gajio and Levy. And it says, Gajio and Levy have gotten super close. Gajio, over here! And he goes, okay. And looking at them makes me kind of jealous. This is Lucy talking again. And she's like, Levy's whispering to Gajio. She's like, psst, psst. And she's blushing, and then he's blushing and sweating a lot. And there's like an exclamation mark. And Lucy says, for a moment, I thought I heard her say baby, but that was just my imagination, right? And then you see Wendy, and she's like trembling and blushing and sweating, and she goes, ah, and I mean, well, Lucy says, ah, I forgot that she's got better hearing than me. So they basically, what Gajevi got in this chapter was confirming what we already knew they would get. We knew that they would have kids. We saw them in the light novel, and we saw them where they had like kids that came back from the past, from the future to the past, and they confirmed that they were basically Gajio and Levy's children. And Mashima made them canon, kind of, in when Gajio was going to die, and he was like imagining, what he wished could happen if he didn't die, if he lived on, how he'd want to get married to Levy and have kids with her, and those are the kids that he imagined, which is, wow, Gajio, you knew exactly what your children would look like. That is quite a talent. But yeah, and basically this is Mashima making them officially official by saying that Levy's pregnant. So yeah, he basically gave Gajevi, they are definitely the most obviously canon as far as like the top 4 couples go because of the pregnancy thing. Like obviously they are together and doing things to make babies. So yeah. Okay, so then Lucy goes, Wendy goes with Charles to hang out at Lamia Scale pretty often. They made her participate in the Lamia Scale Thanksgiving Day festivities again. Love Slayer forever. That's their little, like, I guess, group. I mean, their duo song, they're like idols. That was Wendy and Shelia. And it says, there's that stupid dog guy, and he goes, come next year too, damn it, the one with the sock. Why are you getting mad? The guy with the eyebrow says. I never know their names. I don't remember their names. I think the dog guy's named Toby, and I remember the eyebrow guy name. And Lucy goes, I can never tell what. Oh yeah, it is Toby. I can never tell what Toby's thinking. Or Sherry has learned to use a little magic. I don't know why it says or. I think that's wrong. But yeah, Sherry has learned to use a little magic. I am not surprised. I don't think anybody's surprised that Sherry is learning magic again. That she hasn't lost it forever. Go figure. Go figure. Of course there are no consequences. But yeah, look, Wendy. And I like that we at least see Leon one last time. Oh, that's awesome, Sheria. You've done it. And Lucy says she's always telling me what's going on. What's going over there with us? What's going on over there? They left out on over there with a smile about Wendy. And the other guilds? Lady, you're too strong. Sting! Oof. Fro thinks so too. Foo-foo. Atta girl, Lady Minerva. Well, Minerva won Sabretooth's customary eating contest this year too, and Sting got fat again. That's so funny that he gets fat from eating at the eating contest and then loses it like immediately, I guess. And then it says, and over at, of course we need one last look at the Ichiya. And over at Blue Pegasus, Ichiya got selected as Hoi, Hunk of the Year. I didn't even know that was a thing. Men. We love you, Director Ichiya, General Ichiya, Ichiya of Destiny, Lord Ichiya. What in the world am I doing? I don't know, Kagura. I don't know why you were doing this. Super energy! I guess you're not to be underestimated, huh? And Mermaid's Heel is now the exclusive model agency of Weekly Sorcerer. I don't like this because I feel like it undermines what a badass group of women this guild was. I don't like that they're now like basically like models in bikinis or whatever. It just it's such ugh. I don't like that. Anyway, but it's shonen. Everyone's doing really well. I'm so glad. So this is back at the party. Lucy is fanning herself because she's drinking a little too much. And Kana goes, still not very good with alcohol, are we? Kana, it's a joyous occasion. Bottoms up. And she tries shoving alcohol down her mouth. And Gildarts is like, hey, if you make young girls drink too much. And we're back to the good part, the Gruvia. Gruvia is taking off her now different outfit from what she was wearing in the first pages. And she's like stripping again and taking off, like she's basically taking off the top. Julia wants to strip more and she's crying still. And Gray, still in his underwear, is blushing and going, hey, quit it! He's like, basically the roles have reversed. Like, instead of Juvia being the one to be worried about Gray stripping his clothes off and being embarrassed by it, it's Gray being embarrassed and trying to protect Juvia from stripping off her clothes. Like, he's just like, not having this. This is too much. How dare she do this? But yeah, then we see Gildarts, and he's sweating and he's blushing, and he goes, this is what happens. And you see like a close up of Juvia's boobs in her like bra, and he goes, actually, let them drink. And kind of cuts him off, and she goes, you gross old man, and she hits him. So Gildarts is perving on Juvia now, and then the next part you see is so cute. You see Gray's like kind of like chibi-fied, angry expression. He's going, what were you thinking? And he's dragging Juvia away by the arm, and she's like just like sitting on the floor, and he's just dragging her, and she goes, I'm sorry. But then you see a panel of Gray looking down at her, and you see her scar from when she tried to kill herself in order, like when she was sacrificing herself to save Gray. The whole double suicide in 499, you see her scar all highlighted, and he's looking at that. That's what he's looking at. Plus other things, I'm sure, but yeah, he's looking at her scar, and you see the next panel where you see him looking down, and you see the ... and he just stops, and he's like, that scar is still there, huh? And Juvia goes, Juvia doesn't mind it. And he goes, if you ask Wendy, I'm sure she'll get rid of it for you, right? But your scars are still there too, right, Gray-sama? And yeah, sure enough, there's his Juvia scar, very plainly in view, very big. And he gets angry though, because Juvia's calling out his hypocrisy. He's like, well, yeah, but you have your scar too. But I will say though, Juvia's scar should not be on her side. It's supposed to be in the middle. That's where she stabbed herself with the water. She was right here. Don't know why it's over here. I guess to mirror Gray's, but in that case, this should have been there in the first place. Like, she should have stabbed herself here. But that's why I say sometimes Mashima doesn't think things through, and he just decides things at the last minute. And he just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna make her scar here because I like it, because it looks good as far like compared to Gray, like to be like that, like the parallel. And yeah, okay, but yeah. So, but I do like that they kept their scars. But it's different for guys. Gray's saying, he's like shaking his fist, and he's like all like angry and worked up. He goes, your body, well, and Juvia's like, what about Juvia's body? And this is the best. This is the best. So Gray all of a sudden starts thinking. He takes a really long pause. I'm sure there's all these dots. And his eyes, his pupils are dilated. He's sweating. He's blushing. He's looking down at Juvia, who's like still sitting on the ground, and her boobs are full in view, and she's blushing too and sweating a little as well, and she's just like, what's going on? And he says, it's well, it's mine, and yeah, and he's looking away from her, and he's blushing, and he's still sweating, and Juvia is like, Juvie! That's the sound effect. That's her Juvie sound effect. So, Juvie! And you see her have the hard eyes and the blushy face, and even her like her reaction instead of like a exclamation point or something is just a heart. So she knows exactly what he's saying here, and I will go back to it. I'm going to go back after I finish the entire chapter because I need to talk in depth, but we'll move on for now. So Wendy's heard something again. That's the other good thing, is that, again, we have Wendy's reaction. She heard something juicy, apparently, and she again she's sweating, she's blushing, she's trembling, and I guess maybe this is the sound of like maybe like her heart doki doki kind of thing. So she heard something scandalous from Gray-sama, and yeah, it's great. And Lucy goes, I'm worried about Gray and Juvia too, but and she's basically talking about all the couples. So she's talking about Gray and Juvia. Now she's moving on to a different couple. She goes, lately there's been a few other boy-girl couples that have been worrying me. And she goes, Elfman and Ever? A true man. Shut up. Fighting again? My. So, I mean, to me, Elfman and Evergreen have been a couple since that date that the Raijin Shu caught them on back in the Grand Magic Games. So this, to me, is no big deal. I mean, not like it's no big deal. I mean, it's no surprise. I always liked Elfman and Evergreen. I thought they were really cute and kind of funny and like a really weird pair. But I liked them, and I'm glad we get to see a little bit of them here. And Lucy's talking. She goes, yeah, I'm worried about them, but they're pretty close. And then, okay, so here's the thing. I shipped Laxus and Mira. That's the ship that made sense to me. And I feel like Mashima knew all of the, like, popular Laxus ships, and he just decided to throw all of them a bone. Which annoys me, because, not just because Laxus and Mira aren't, like, official or canon. You know, I would have liked them to be, but they weren't my OTP or anything. It was just like, oh, I hope they are. They make sense. But it makes Laxus look like a playboy, which I don't like. I feel like that's out of character for him. I don't enjoy him just having all these rumors around him, but it's whatever. It's fine. I'm not upset about it. I'm just saying. So yeah, here's Mira talking. She goes, Ichi, I came over to hang out again. And Laxus is like, you gotta be kidding me. And Lucy goes, no, but there was a rumor like that going around for a little. And then Laxus and Lizana, are you the real one? And he's like patting her on the head. And she goes, are you still worried about that? And then Laxus and Kana, and Laxus, let's drink. And he goes, sure. In my opinion, Kana shouldn't be with Bacchus. I don't even know where Bacchus is. I haven't seen him in a while. I think they did show him at the end of maybe the last chapters, the like previous one, or I don't remember. Like, I wasn't paying that much attention to all the other guild members from other guilds. Anyway, it says this guy's just full of rumors, and he goes, hey. So he's like a playboy now, and I'm just like, okay. But, yeah, then Erza is there, and she goes, really, though, quite impressive, I'm so glad you won. And, she goes, I'm absolutely horrible when it comes to writing. One time, I sent a letter of thanks to a guild that I had relied on for some time, and they came after me armed to the teeth. Anyway, congratulations, Lucy. I'm proud to say that we belong to the same guild. And Lucy's like, thank you, Erza. Yeah, I think the two I'm most concerned about. The two that somehow always just happen to pass each other by, and then we see a lot of, like, flashbacks to Erza and Jalal, and she says Erza and Jalal, and they're different moments. We see them, you know, like Tower of Heaven, and like Arashi and Says, and, you know, oh, the kiss that did or did not happen. We still don't know. Anyway, so we see the king of, you know, it says, now for a bit of a tangent, the previous king of Fiore went into retirement, and Princess Hisui succeeded the throne. The queen has begun trying to reestablish relations with Alvarez, and has really been trying hard to bring wealth back to this country. And as part of that initiative, Jalal and everyone else in crime sorcery were pardoned. I know it's not sorcery, but I say it like that because societe sounds stupid. Pardoned? No way. What now? That's funny. And these are like all of the Arashian Saints talking to, and they go, our crimes have been forgiven? Indeed. But we were a dark guild. I've heard the particulars, and I am familiar with the past too. This is Princess Hisui. You all were made to shoulder heavy sins, despite the fact that perhaps more than anyone your hearts look to tomorrow. I ask that from now on, for the sake of the people, you try to live on. And Jalal, you see him and he goes, live on. And so Jalal and the others were freed. I thought for sure Erza should be super happy about it, but it's complicated. This is Erza. This thing's too complicated, Lucy. Write more understandably, will ya? Really, I can never tell what this girl's thinking. That's Lucy commenting on Erza. But I know these words are pretty hard. This is Erza still reading, trying to read the book. Ever since the pardon letter arrived, Erza, despite never having any interest in it, started doing her hair every single day. I don't even really ship Jerza. I never did. And the reason I never shipped them is because, not that I didn't like Jerza. Not that I didn't like Erza's character. I liked her character a lot, especially back in the day. But I was always indifferent to Jalal, which is a shame because from Rave Master, he's basically based on Seacard from Rave Master, and I love Seacard. Seacard is best Jalal. I'm sorry, he just is. But yeah, Jalal, I don't know, I never got attached to them because they were too obvious, and I like tension in my ship, so because the feelings were mutual from so long ago, I just never took an interest in it. It just didn't, I don't like when ships are that obvious. But because the ship was so obvious for so long, and because they got so little after they had their, like, major moments in the series, like, again, the Tower of Heaven, Rashi and Says, and then they had, like, the Grand Magic Game thing just beforehand, Kiss, because they had all of that, but then also they had hardly anything after that fact, it felt like Mashima was denying them stuff for so long that I'm like, okay. I mean, they had some stuff, like, teases going on in this final arc, and we finally saw them together some, again, after ages. It just felt like Mashima needed to give them something solid and for us to see them together, because back in the day, I was I was, like, completely certain that Jerza were going to be the first one to go canon. They'd go canon way before the series ended, because they were the more mature couple of the group, and they were also the more obvious. Like I said, the most obvious mutual feelings. They had it. They had it for ages. And I'm like, okay, they're going to go canon first. Then I was like, okay, well then they're going to get either the wedding end, like it's going to be their wedding at the end, because, you know, they always tease that, like, Erza wants to get married, you know, with, like, the movie, with her wearing the wedding dress and stuff like that. I'm like, she's going to get married. Or they're going to be the ones having the implied sex, because again, they're the mature couple, and it would make sense for them because they've had mutual feelings the longest. But no, I will say Mashima, in the case of Jerza, screwed them over. I mean, there's no other way to phrase it. He really, really dropped the ball. I don't know why he could not give them just undisputed, like, relationship status, like just that they're together. Why was that so hard? He denied the fans so long anything. Like, I don't understand why he wouldn't. Like, they got the least of everybody, of all the major couples. Why? I don't understand it. Like I said, I don't even care for Jerza, and I think it's messed up. That sucks. That really, really sucks for them. So, you know, poor Jerza fans is all I have to say. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. But yeah, Mashima did that to you. Anyway, so we move on, and he should have died. He needed to die. He's still alive, because of course he is. I can't with that. Okay, so wahoo, it's a joyous occasion. Listen up, I'm the one who raised her. I raised Lucy. Stop being all stuck up about it. Now, owie. So you have poor Lusika hitting Makarov, and he deserves it because he's still alive. But yeah, he can't walk anymore. He has trouble walking, basically. So he's in a wheelchair. He's being pushed by Mest. And he says, as a result of what happened back then, his legs aren't what they used to be. Who would hit a sick patient? But the master's as cheery as ever. Sick patients are allowed to drink alcohol. And from time to time, he talked rather mysteriously about what happened back then. What actually was that, I wonder? It was you being dead as you were supposed to be, but apparently, nope, nobody can stay dead. And I don't need people to die. It's just that Makarov should have died ages ago. And doing it and then taking it back, I can't. And you know what makes me even more salty about it is that Laxus didn't get handed the guild. I felt like he needed that. Like that should have been something that like would complete his story. Like he's changed so much over the years, and grown from what he was during the fighting festival arc. And it would have been great if Makarov acknowledged how much he changed and how responsible he'd become. And instead we don't get that. We just get Laxus as a playboy and Makarov just in a wheelchair, still the master after all this time. And I didn't like that. I would have liked Laxus to have the guild, so that sucks. It really does. Anyway, then this is my least favorite part. I've been complaining a lot, I know, but this is my I generally liked the chapter. It's just this stuff annoyed me. So here is basically all the main characters looking at someone, noticing someone in the crowd, and Nox is going, that first? What? And why? And then you see Mavis dropped something, and you see Zaref saying, you dropped this, and he picked it up for her. And there's a huge page of it, too. That's the other thing. 5 pages this got. 5 pages in the final chapter when you needed to wrap so many things up. So many other ships needed closure, and this is what you do with these pages. You have everyone looking shocked, all the main characters, and you have Mavis saying, thank you, and Zaref saying, no, are you with one of the publishing companies here? And she goes, yes, a small one, though. Are you? No, I'm just an amateur writer. Miss Harfila's work was just so moving to me that I snuck in, and now here I am. Me too. Why? Why? First of all, if they are reincarnations, why are they not children? Why are they this old? I don't understand this. And he goes, by the way, and she goes, yes, your shoes. Where are your shoes? Oh no, I completely forgot about them. And he's laughing. Ha 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 ha. I'm Arlios. I'm Neo. So that's their new names and their new lives, and I'm just sitting here going, their ending that they had was perfect. The one they had where they died. They needed to die. They wanted to die. Zaref wanted to die. He was alive for so many hundreds of years, and Mavis was alive for over 100 years too. I mean, I know she was dead, but she wasn't really dead. She was just like in a cryogenic stasis. And they both had so long on this earth, and yeah, they suffered, but they were happy at the end. They were together. They were going off into the afterlife together. And I'm like just sitting here going, they didn't need this. This was unneeded. This was unnecessary. And not only that, I didn't even care that much, but I thought that because they went into the afterlife, that August, their son, the son they don't even know they had. Like, Zaref at least knew him, but didn't know he was his son. Didn't know he was his son. And Mavis didn't even know she had a son. I thought, they're going to go into the afterlife, they're going to finally meet that kid, and they're going to, like, have a happy family together, at least there, but no, poor August, he's left alone, and they're off having another life, and that's terrible, and here they are still, and it's like, if you wouldn't mind, would you like to talk a little? Yes, sure, August this year sure is hot, August this year sure is hot. Oh, poor August. Hot enough to make me forget to wear shoes, probably. I guess I should take mine off, too. I'm sorry, this made me the angriest. This was such a waste of pages and panels. It should not have been in here. I hate that this was here. They got enough. They had more than every other ship, and they were put in there in, like, basically the last arc that this ship became a thing. And they got more than all the other couples that got developed over so much time. They got kisses, they got a kid, they had their, like, happily ever after. And why did this need to be, why did they need to include this? Why? For what reason did they need to take away more panel time from couples that we spent so many years getting to know? I hate that. I hate it. I don't even care. I mean, I'm sorry for people who like this, but I think this was so wrong to be in this chapter. I really do, and it makes me mad. So there's that. Anyway, here's Lucy having the complete opposite feeling that I'm having right now. And she goes, oh, everything's so happy. I almost feel myself being enveloped by a warm something. And you know what? The other thing is, nobody actually, really, truly, nobody important died. Nobody. Even Zareth and Mavis were brought back. That's insane. No, no, don't like it. Anyway. So here's Panther Lily going, oh wait, have you seen Gajil and Levy? And they go, and this is Jen and Jordan, they go, nope, guess, dang it. So they're all bitter. And then there's, the first is following me around. Shut it, quiet you, ha. Random, like Max and Bloom and whatever that Ward is there. And it's a girl, come here, pretty. And there's Wakaba and Mako again being gross. And there's Mako's son Romeo with Asuka, and he's going, I'm definitely not going to become an adult like that. Good for you, Romeo. And then there's Alzik and Biska, and they're like standing together and posing for, what's his name? I forgot his name, the guy who draws. Like this? This is a bit tiring. Wait, a little bit closer now. And then you see more guild members, and they're going, I'm going to work from tomorrow. You said that countless times now. And then you see, what's her name? The one who has like that wood magic. And she goes, you have a boyfriend? She's talking to that Kinana girl who used to be a snake, used to be Cobra's snake. And she goes, yeah, his name's Eric. And so she's dating Eric, which is Cobra, which is cute, but I don't really have any investment in them, so I don't care. Warm. There's a panel just saying warm. And then you see Lucy, and this is the fun part. So Lucy wakes up in her bed, and she goes, huh? My room? Don't tell me this is one of those, it was all a dream sort of endings. What? How did I even... Yo! My room! So we're nostalgia again. Natsu's just sitting in her room going, yay! Yeah, I'm here too. And poor Lucy, Happy's scratching up her trophy. He goes, look, I made your trophy all shiny, Lucy. It's all scratched up. But at least it wasn't a dream. Why are you two in my room? And Natsu goes, why? You randomly just collapsed. We carried you home. Did I really drink that much? Lucy, you know, don't tell her, Happy. What did I even do? Carry me, change my clothes. Happy, you're so fluffy. Good night. So you see Natsu carrying her, her telling him to take off her clothes, her cuddling with Happy, and then her cuddling with both Natsu and Happy and sleeping together. And she goes, now I remember, I will never get to be a bride now. Poor Lucy. But yeah, that was cute. And Natsu's like, but you'll be ready for work, right? Lucy, it's time for work. And this is a flashback. And there's several flashbacks, and you see her, you see them when they were, like, in the beginning of the series, and, like, all her memories with Natsu, and she goes, I'm here too, the 3 wizards. Maybe I should just sit these jobs out. I'm gonna die. I hear ya. Edo, Lucy, Natsu's here. I don't mind. I do. Quit playing with them. Thank you. For the sake of our futures. So yeah, there's all these flashbacks, and he goes, I'm back. Ugh, and here's Back to the Future, and she's, crying. Ugh, what happened? Does your tummy hurt? No, well, I just remembered a bunch of things, and I can't stop crying. And so Natsu is just bemused, and Lucy hugs him, and it's cute. It's a huge page of her hugging him, and she goes, if I had never met you, Natsu, or Happy, I wouldn't be who I am today. And Natsu's just like, thank you so much, thank you, sob. What? And Happy, so she's crying, she's sobbing, and Natsu and Happy are looking at each other like, whoa, what do we do? And then he kind of backs all away from her, and he goes, say, Lucy, and he looks really serious, and he's really close up to her face, and he goes, I've got something I want to say, too. And he grabs her by her arms, and she's like, what? What? Ah! And she's, like, closing her eyes again, and she's all blushy, and, like, she thinks he's gonna kiss her. But, of course he doesn't, because he's Natsu. Who cares about all that stuff? Time for work! And he grabs her, and he's, like, dragging her off again. And she's like, what? Hi, sir! And she's mad, and she goes, and here I was, getting all emotional. What do you mean, who cares? You're the worst! And then you don't see his face. It's like one of those gray moments where you don't see his face because it's like something emotional for him too. And he goes, who cares? Because we'll always be together, right? To me, that was like a love confession / kind of proposal kind of thing. So to me, Nalu is canon. Okay? Jerza is canon too. It just didn't get anything in this chapter. Jerza's been canon, like I said, since freaking Tower of Heaven, Russian Says, The Kiss, all of that. It's been canon since then. It's just they deserved to get something here and they didn't, and that sucked. Nalu deserved to get more too, and they didn't, and that sucked. But they're canon, in my opinion. So Cuz will always be together, right? And then Lucy's screaming, and she goes, because she blushed after that. She got what he meant, but she's like, wait, my stuff, I'm not ready. And they go, we packed for you, and we tossed in those pervy panties of yours too. And she's like, why? And then there's the old team back together again, and Wendy's going, Natsu, hurry. It's probably supposed to say Natsu-san, because she's always proper, and for whatever reason, Manga Stream lately does not translate all the honorifics. I don't know why. I guess it's a different person translating it, but they should. Anyway, Sai, always late. We'll just leave your lot behind, you bastard. That's Gray. And we said before that after the war's over, there's something we want to do, right? Is that what this job is about? We finally got permission. Come, it is time to be off. The 100-year quest. I'm getting fired up. And Lucy's back in her, basically they're all back in their old clothes, which is really cute. I think only Wendy doesn't necessarily have her first clothes. She has maybe her second outfit or third or something, I don't know. But everybody else is wearing their old stuff, and it's really cute and nostalgic. And then Mashima ends it like this. Do fairies have tails? In fact, do fairies even exist? An eternal riddle, an eternal adventure. That's the story behind our guild's name. And we finally see the guild after so many chapters. I mean, so many pages in this chapter. And we see all the other people hanging out in the guild, partying and having fun and being rowdy and being themselves, which is what I hoped the party would be before, instead of Lucy's thing. But anyway, so we're a bit more rough around the edges than the cute name would imply. But every day's a blast. You see Gruvia hanging out with Freed, and I guess they get along well. Maybe it's cute. I like it. Gruvia has a funny expression on her face, and I love everyone in this guild. I hope everyone finds one, something as irreplaceable to them as Fairy Tail is to me. Something like these beloved friends. And then you see that what's her name, Zira, and she's Zera. And she is a little fairy, and she's saying, see you later, and you see, Team Natsu off on their adventure. And then on the side it says, thank you for all your love these past 11 years. Look forward to Mashima Sensei's next work. And it says at the end, thank you to all the fans. The end. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the Gruvia stuff, because I can. So, here's the thing. I'm going to talk about the 100-year quest first, though. Basically, the 100-year quest does not mean it's a quest that takes 100 years to complete. It is a quest that has not been completed in 100 years, so it's a really, really tough job. Now, I still don't think it's going to take that long for them to finish it, because they are all ridiculously overpowered at this point. I mean, it's... So I feel like this is not something that they're going to be gone ages for. I feel like it's just something that they got to do because I think it's something Natsu's been wanting to do for ages, probably since the beginning of the arc. I mean, beginning of the story. And he gets to say he basically completed a 100-year mission and something that Guild Arts couldn't even do. Mind you, Guild Arts' one was Akno. So yeah, he couldn't do that. But at least Natsu probably have bragging rights that I finished a 100-year quest and Guild Arts didn't. But here's the thing: the whole problem with the 1 year, another problem that I have with the 1 year time skip, is that it makes stuff like this very strange. Natsu seems so eager, and Happy too seems so eager to tell Lucy something after the war, and the fact that they still haven't said what it was a whole year later, until now, it's too strange. It is, because it's like even if they didn't get permission until now to not even mention it, not even mention what it was, it doesn't make any sense. And some of the relationships also don't make any sense for it to a whole year has passed. Like with Jirza, a whole year has passed and still nothing's happened between them. And, yeah, Jalal was pardoned only just now, but that's no, to me, it should not have been a year. It should have been less. And the only reason I think Mashima made it a year was so that he can do the thing with Lucy where she's written a book and released it and won an award already. Or even in a year, that's still quite a short amount of time for that all to happen. But anyways. So, okay. those are my nitpicky things and things I liked about all the other stuff in the series. In the chapter. Like I said, I think all the ships are pretty much canon, all the major ones, anyways, and I think it was obvious. But here's the Gruvia stuff again. So Gruvia. What I loved about the Gruvia thing was, like I said, it was like a role reversal. Instead of Juvia freaking out about Gray stripping, we get Gray freaking out about Juvia stripping and being all blushy and embarrassed and like so much so that he drags her away. Like he's like, no one's looking at this but me. This is mine. In fact, he says that. So, but yeah, I mean, he doesn't say all of that, but he says that she's his. And yeah, so he's all pissed and he's just I'm sorry. And the reason I like the fact that they kept the scars is because the scars were such a big deal. It's like they were they're a kind of evidence of what the two would do for each other. Like it's physical manifestation of how far they would each go for the other. Like they would kill themselves rather than hurt each other, and that's huge. I mean, I already went through 499. Now, but here's the issue. Did I expect more from Gruvia and all the ships, honestly, in this chapter? Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I wanted a kiss. I'm still upset we didn't get one. I feel like the fact that the chapter cover was the most physical contact they had in the entire chapter. It wasn't even the chapter cover. The magazine cover was the most. Makes me really sad. Like, to me, it felt like Mashima should have given them something at least more physical than what they got. If not, if he wasn't going to go the word route, I guess. I really, really wish they had a kiss. And in my head, I still think they had one in 499, where Juvia said in 500 that she felt something. Like, it felt like Gray kissed her, and, Charles was like, oh, it's definitely in your imagination. I was like, the only reason I could see Mashima showing us that, that Juvia was alive already and giving us the scene is because he needed the scene to be there so that he can touch on it in the future, and that only thing I can think of is because of the kiss. He didn't do it. Which makes me even saltier that we saw Juvia so quickly in 500 rather than saving it for when Gray finally saw her. If we saw her when Gray saw her, that would have been so much more impactful. So the fact that he did things that way and didn't even have any payoff for it, that is crazy to me. It makes me even more upset that he did that. So there's that. But that being said, I guess the other thing is 499 was the answer. It was, and it sucks that we didn't realize it. Like, we all knew. We were all saying, of course they have mutual feelings. He did everything but say I love you. Okay? We all said that it was mutual. We could tell it was mutual. Even Juvia could tell it was mutual. Honestly, since 416, since 453, since 499, all of those were obviously Gray having mutual feelings for Juvia. Basically, they went canon like 4 times at this point, like counting this. They went canon 4 times. I mean, that's why, like, I remember when 453 came out, it was great, but it felt redundant to 416. 499 was amazing, and I'm like, okay, I loved every bit of it, and I'm like, okay, this for sure, without a doubt, shows mutual feelings. Because, and Juvia got it. Juvia got it from 453, and she certainly got it from 499. She's like, "Could some of those words to make Juvia so happy?" She knew, and we knew she knew, and we knew he was in love with her. We knew the feelings were mutual, and we still didn't take it as an answer because we were greedy. We were like, it was so funny because, like, I definitely sent Mashima, like, tweets like, oh my god, I can't wait till they reunite so I can see Gray's answer to Juvia. And he's probably sitting there going, dude, you got it. I don't know what you're asking for. It already happened. So that's kind of, like, sad. But you know what? The other thing is Mashima knew we didn't get it. That's the thing. He knew people didn't get it, and he still didn't draw or write in something more. I mean, this was mute. He gave us an answer here, I guess, too, but it was nowhere near what I thought it was gonna be. This was like really funny, actually. So I mean, he gave us an answer in a different way. He gave us their usual like Gruvia dynamic, except not usual at all, because you never think that Gray would say something like this. I never pictured Gray to say something like this. Mind you, I never pictured Gray to say something like "I love you" either. So there's that. But yeah, so I guess this is more in character for him. But that's why I wanted to kiss. I felt like Gray's more action than word. But yeah, so here's the thing. So the scars again. Back to the scars. The scars, to me, the reason he wanted this not to see the scar and wanted the scar to be gone. It wasn't some sexist thing like, oh, men can have scars but women can't, and you shouldn't be allowed to do what you want with your body, because she pointed out that he still has his. And Gray said ages ago that scars are very important to him. Like I don't mind scars on my body as long as they're external and not internal. Basically, he was saying, like, it was something trying to be cool. And but yeah, he has his Leon scar, he has his Ultu scar, and Juvie scar is the biggest scar, and it's the most important. And but he's saying to her, he's like, but it's different for guys. Your body, well, so he's like, to me, the reason he doesn't want to have it it's because Juvia, that scar is a reminder of what he failed to do. It reminds him he failed to protect Juvia. She ended up dying for him, which he never wanted. He was trying so hard to keep that from ever happening, and it happened anyway. And it reminds him that she saved him, but he couldn't save her, and that like all that trauma of what happened afterwards, and how upset he was, and basically he doesn't want the scar because it hurts him to see that she was hurt. Okay, so it's that's what it is. It's not sexist. It's that her body, he sees her body as something pure, and that shouldn't be tainted by something that he feels responsible for. But Juvia doesn't mind. She really doesn't care. She's just like this is no big deal to her. Like, again, because they kind of probably wear those scars as like, this is what I would do for you because I love you. But anyway, the next page, the page after he says your body, and Juvia's like, my body, Gray's face is so blushy, so like dilated pupils, like I said, and he's just looking down at her, and it's very, very, like, when I first saw this panel, these two panels, because these were the spoiler panels, I thought they were having sex, or about to. I was sad to find out, nope, that was not the case. But, I mean, it was still good. It was still it basically implies they're either having sex or they will be having sex, because the thing is with Gray, with what he says, he goes, it's mine, and so he says that her body is his, and he's stumbling over his words and trying to, like, kind of play it off. He's like, well, maybe it should be, like, there's also, like, other people saying, like, other translations where it says maybe, there's a maybe in there, the maybe comes after it's mine. He's trying to, like, backtrack, and I equate this to, like, a guy talking to his girlfriend, saying something over the line, whether they're arguing or he said something a little too much, and he's just like, if that's okay with you, I mean, like, that. Like, that's what the maybe is to me, and all the other stuttering, the ers and ahs. He's embarrassed that he just said that. He was thinking about it, too. He said it because he thought about it. And then when he said it, he was like, he got the words out, and he was like, oh my God, why did I say that's so embarrassing? But here's the thing. That's the part of the scar situation is he's saying her body is his. And so that's why, another reason why he doesn't want her to have the scar. He feels protective over her because her body isn't just hers, it's his too, because they're together. The only thing that could have made this better is when he said it's mine and my body is yours would be nice if that's what followed. It's mine, so it'd be it's mine and your body is mine, and so your body is mine and my body is yours, or you're mine and I'm yours, like, because the body thing wasn't actually, it's like confusing in the Japanese. Apparently it could be about her body because that's exactly what they were referring to in the panels beforehand, or he could just be meaning she's his. All right, it's either way, she's his. So to me, This means Gray and Juvia in this situation, in where we're seeing them a year later, they're in a relationship. Because Gray's not going to start a relationship with your body is mine. That's no way would Gray start a relationship. To me, this is more so in line with they're in a relationship and he's either saying he wants to take the next step into sexy times, because he was looking at her and like all of a sudden he realized, oh yeah, she's really attractive because she's like half naked right now. And that's why he's all blushy, and he said that, and he's like, well, it's mine. Her body is mine. But also, it could be that they have already had sex, because if you think about it, if he's saying her body is his, that means he's already had her body. And that's why he's saying it. That's me. To me, either way, it's fine. But I do think, without a doubt, they're in a relationship, because I can't see Gray saying something like this for the first time. And not only that, I can't see him saying something like this after a year of nothing. Like, are you telling me the war ended and they didn't get together, and it's a year later, and Gray's acting like this around her? No. It doesn't make any sense. No, they're definitely in a relationship as far as I'm concerned, and either they're going to have sex or they have had sex, and they're going to have more. And that's what this is to me. And again, Wendy's expression and reaction to what Gray said, anyone who thinks this is not canon, I'm sorry. If you need something more explicit than "you're mine," you have a problem, and I'm sorry that you have that problem. But Wendy reacted the same way to Gray and Juvia as she did to Gajeel and Levy's baby thing. Okay, she heard something scandalous said by Gray-sama towards Juvia, and she's just like, oh my god, what did I overhear? And even Lucy is talking about all the couples, all the relationships. That's Gray and Juvia, okay? They're in a relationship. So, and that shouldn't be surprising to anybody. Again, 499, 453, 416, they were even living together for 6 months. Like, of course they're in a relationship at this point. So that to me, they're canon. They're undoubtedly canon, and I think all the ships are canon. I think as long as they have mutual feelings, okay. I thought without a doubt we would get a time skip, a huge one. That was, the thing that's, a lot of shonens that have been ending lately have all been doing this, the whole babies and marriage thing. You see the characters as adults, and now they're married and have kids, and I understand why people wanted it. It would have been good because then you wouldn't have any debate over who's canon or who's not. They're married with kids, and I get that, and I wanted it to some extent, but I didn't need it. Never needed it. I like talking about like the future and them as parents and families. Like, I love writing family, Gray and Juvia family fan fiction. I think that it's fun. I like exploring that side of like the future for them. But I didn't need the kids more than I needed canon. I wanted canon first. To me, the kids and the marriage thing was bonus. And I also, because Juvia is my favorite character, like, let's say Mashima didn't do the kids and the marriage, and then decided to either hand off a spin-off to somebody else or doing some himself of the next gen, Juvia wouldn't be active in the story. You'd see her like briefly as the mom and the stay-at-home wife and stuff, and stay-at-home mom, because she's not into fighting. She only does it when she wants to protect someone she loves. And I see her as somebody who would just be at home and not really be active. And Gray would sometimes be active, and I guess I just didn't want to say goodbye to these characters so soon. We are saying goodbye anyway, but I mean that it's nice to imagine to be able to see the characters in that in-between portion where you're not just skipping all the way ahead to marriage and kids. You get to see them as a couple. We get to see what Gray and Juvia are like, relationship. That's amazing. I didn't think we'd ever get that. So now we know what their dynamic is like. Juvia is Gray and Gray is Juvia. And Gray is all blushy and soon. I never thought we would get blushy Gray again. Ever, 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 ever. And it's nice to see him so soon, because that's why I like Gruvia so much, is because Gray is so soon. I think Blushy Gray is the best, though. I really missed Blushy Gray. I feel like we got Blushy Gray in some in the GMG, and then some in Tartarus with Groovy bread and stuff. And then it just kind of disappeared after 416. I was like, where did my Blushy Gray go? Why he no blush no more? You know, I was like really sad. I love Blushy Gray because it shows like you see the physical effect on Gray that Juvia gives him, and the fact that it's back makes me really happy. So yay Blushy Gray, yay Tsoon Gray, yay Protective Gray, yay Jealous Gray. We got all of it in this chapter, and it was beautiful. I love this Gray, and it's just funny to see Juvia be the one who strips and just, and she's not even, that's the other thing, okay, Gray, if this was Gray saying stuff like this, and they haven't been together at all, Juvia would have reacted even more strongly. It would just be heart eyes and a heart in a bubble. She probably would have been all red, she would have passed out, you know, this does not look like, you know, she's happy because it's obviously something, first time he said something this bold, you know, it's like he was boldly stating their relationship status, and then he got embarrassed because he did that. But she's happy. She's like, yeah, of course my body is yours. Everything is yours. But it also reminds me of what happened in 499, where Juvia said, Juvia's life will forever and always belong to you, Gray-sama. So this kind of, again, another kind of flash to that 499 thing, which was the answer. It was the answer. Just a shame we didn't realize it, so that we could have enjoyed that Gruvia was canon for a lot longer than we thought. I mean, again, to me, mutual feelings are canon, and I thought that their feelings were mutual from 416. So that was my canon, my first Gruvia canon, and that was the best one. Honestly, nothing's topped that. Even this, nothing has topped. Even 499 didn't top for what I felt in 416. If the series had ended there, Gruvia would have been implied canon, and as far as I'm concerned, in 416. So, you know, it is what it is, though. I'm just glad that we basically got like a different kind of answer here. It was more explicit, it was more perverted. Gray is just saying that he wants her body, her body is his, and she is his, she belongs to him. I don't know what more people would want as far as what's canon. It's obvious this is canon. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice, again, kiss. It would have been great to have the kiss. I think if I gotten the kiss and this, I would have been really overjoyed. But we didn't, and it did overall feel very underwhelming as far as the chapter as a whole. But then again, the series lately, certainly since the last time skip, has felt very underwhelming. Like, I was very excited for Avatar, but then that did not go well at all. And then, aside from a few chapters in this arc, like 499, which is, in my opinion, still the best chapter in this arc, no, everything's been feeling underwhelming, and it's a shame, and I really didn't want the series to end like that for me. I wanted to be super excited. I was really looking forward to canon. I couldn't even sleep because I was waiting for spoilers, and I wish it had been more, but it wasn't. I guess Mashima just didn't want to do it because it becomes so cliche lately to go and do the whole marriage kids time skip epilogue thing. And I guess also because he didn't want to, just like he didn't want to say goodbye to these versions of his characters. He wanted them to still be young and going off on adventures together, and still just being in that in-between place where they, you know, they're getting into new relationships. They're growing still, and they're still just trying to figure things out. And I think that's cool. That's fine. I do like what Gruvia got, and I just, you know, it's just a little underwhelming, is all it is. That's what it comes down to. It would have been nice if it had been, because it feels like the series went out with, instead of fireworks, like a little fizzle of like a sparkler, like instead of like boom. You know, it would have been nice if we had the fireworks, but we didn't have the fireworks, and it, you know, it is what it is. I wanted something else, but we got this, and you know, it's time to say goodbye. It'd be nice if Mashima gave us something more in the future. Maybe he will someday do an epilogue or draw other people's kids. I mean, if Gajevi has some, I'm sure the rest will eventually. But who knows? I'm not going to expect it because he seems so tired. a fairy tale. He even said so. He's like, I'm tired of it. And it shows. Honestly, you could feel it with this arc. You could really feel it more so than anything else previous to this. It just feels like he's tired, like he's just really burnt out. And that's a shame. But I mean, it's natural. It happens. It's been 11 years, and I don't know. Another thing with Gruvia is we should have known 499 was the answer because of the stuff he started drawing afterwards on Twitter. Like, we got that Gruvia postcard that was labeled Autumn of Romantic Love. He said that he basically went on the attack when he drew that, like, with them, that he labeled it outright love, and I even have it here, like, it's staring me in the face. So, they're clearly on a date here, and he's labeling them as romantic love. So that was after 499. You would think we would have gotten it from there, but no, we were like, no, we still want more. I want to see Gray's answer, even though we already got it a million times. Because Gray was never going to be that direct, unfortunately, no matter how much we wanted it. Even though here he was pretty damn direct. He was more direct than I ever thought he would be with the whole, like, your body is mine thing. Holy shit, I never thought Gray would say something like that. This is really, like, I have all whole new headcanons because of what he just said here. I really do. It's like, okay, so Gray said this. What else would he say? What else would he do? What else has been going on during this year and this relationship? And what would happen after this? Like, I have all kinds of things. So I like that, too, because, like, if they had marriage and kids, in fact, I was expecting it. So what it ended up doing was limiting what headcanons I had, because I'm like, okay, well, they're married and have kids, or they will be. Now, I can imagine what their romance, their dating life was like before that. Like, I didn't have to just skip to marriage and kids. They had lots of before. So I can now think about that, and that's cool. So there's a lot of fan content that could be generated from this. Yeah, I would have liked something ultimately more solid so that we don't have to wonder or, like, argue about what's canon, what's not. That sucks. But in my opinion, I think if you're logical at all, you can see why this is canon. But yeah, I mean, I guess I just keep going back and forth on it. Like, I love it, and yet there are things I would have done a lot different, and that's what it comes down to. But it is what it is, and I just gonna miss them. I'm gonna miss Gray and Gruvia. They were kind of like the perfect combination for me as far as ships go. I don't know if I'll ever ship something as hard as I did Gray and Gruvia. I feel like they were, like, Gruvia is that very love-struck girl that I really like, that kind of character where they're just, like, in unrequited love that eventually becomes requited, and they try so hard and they're so earnest, and I just love that. And then there's Gray, who is a Tsun, okay, and he makes the relationship even more interesting because you have to take him from being so Tsun and being so like, kind of in denial, I guess, and trying hard to push her away, because of all the trauma, like, that's the other thing, like, that mix of trauma in his past, and just seeing him go from what he was to what he is here, and especially with Gruvia, it was just so interesting, and Mashima really gave us so much material over the years that there was always something to be excited about, and it really was just like the perfect storm kind of ship for me. And I don't know if I'm ever going to ship something as hard as them, and that makes me a little sad. Because it was a very organic thing. I just shipped them. I didn't used to ship them when I started the series, and then I just did. Because it started making all of the sense to me, and then it ran away with me. Okay, so it's like, it's gonna be hard to fall in love with a ship like this ever again. I feel like I might not. And that's okay. That's fine. I mean, there are other things that I like. There are ships that I really like. It's just not like Gruvia. Gruvia was intense. So, yeah, I'm excited for, like, if we do get extra stuff one day. Who knows? It's just nice to think about. But even if we don't, I think this is it's a good ending. It's not a great ending. It's not the best ending. It's not what I wanted. But it happened. This is how it happened, and you know, we're just gonna have to deal with it whether we like it or not. Basically, at least I could say that at least they're canon, and that was a pretty great last line towards Juvia from Gray. So I'm pretty. Oh, did I? I think I did. I talked about the 100-year quest, right? So that's something I'm not worried about. To me, that's gonna be over, and she's gonna come back, and it's not gonna be a big deal. I'm not worried because some people are like, "Oh my God, he left her behind again." By the way, no, he's just going on a really hard mission with his group, with his usual team, cause nostalgia. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know if there's anything much more to say. I don't know how long this video is already. Um, oh my God, over an hour. Still not as long as 499, because I mean there was a tiny piece that was Gruvia, so there was that. But yeah, I do wish they had gotten more pages as well. I did say I hope they get at least 3. I was hoping for 5, but they didn't get it. But Mavis and Zarek did. They didn't need that. But anyways, so yeah, that's that. Those are my thoughts. I'm happy. I'm happy that Gray and Juvia are canon. I'm happy that Gray wants Juvia's body, that he thinks it's his. And it was just nice. It was a nice ending, and it was nice that Gray and Juvia are, to me, undoubtedly canon and together and in a relationship. And now I can headcanon what happened during that year, and I can headcanon what happened after this conversation, and when he comes back from the quest. You know, so that's nice. It's nice that, I mean, I think that's what Mashima wanted. He wanted to leave a lot of things to our imagination. It's cool, and yet it's not, because it's nice to have solid confirmation and facts, too. So it's like, I'm kind of like in between, kind of like, yeah, I like it, and I like it a lot, and yet there are things that I don't like at all. So it's like, yeah. So yeah, it could be better, but it could be also a lot worse. So those are my thoughts. Groovy is canon. I wish I was more excited, but I haven't been excited for Fairy Tail since 499, and that was like almost a year ago. And so things kind of fizzled out because we haven't even been getting any Gruvia. Haven't been getting anything, and you know, it is what it is. It's life. It's the series just kind of went out with the fizzle. And so did the last chapter, but it was fine. It was fine. Is kind of how I feel about it. And Gruvia is great, and it's it was a fun ride. It was enjoyable, and who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows what Mashima will do? I hope he does do some extra stuff, at least Twitter drawings or something. But I really am gonna miss these characters a lot, a lot. I feel like the best part of this story were the characters and their relationships with each other. I think that's what Mashima does best, to be honest. Was making these really fun characters that people grew attached to. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, thank you for watching. I hope people who wanted this video enjoyed it. Sorry I couldn't be, like, more upbeat. I guess it's just because the chapter itself didn't make me as upbeat as I wished it did. But also because I'm tired. Yeah, it was fun. It was a nice ride, and, thank you for watching, and something amazing happened somehow in the future that's Gruvia related. Maybe I'll make another video, who knows, but I doubt it. Probably nothing that big's gonna happen again. So yeah, Gruvia is canon, and we could say that now, so that's awesome. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it too, like Fairy Tail and Gruvia, and I hope nobody's upset, because I know, again, we were all hoping for the answer, even though we already got it. Anyways, I said anyways, and I'm going to close this video now and stop rambling.